For the next 10 days, I will be going on an expedition to Antarctica.
We're now standing on continental Antarctica. Yay! Amazing!
I'll be joining over 200 guests and crew aboard the Ocean Endeavour. A little bit excited and nervous. This is a real adventure. To get to Antarctica, we must spend over 2 days crossing the Drake Passage, a place where 3 oceans collide and where rough seas come as standard. There was an announcement that someone on the ship has gotten very, very ill, so much so that they have to turn back and get them to hospital. If we can make it there safely, and if we can navigate the ice, what awaits us will be something truly magical. There's a baby humpback whale circling our boat. So, come aboard with us today, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's go on a truly next level adventure to Antarctica.
I guess they could easily paint it off. It definitely looks.
Okie dokie. Time to board. I don't know where Michael is. I think we've got separated somehow. The process of getting on the boat is quite complicated. You have to get on a coach and then you have to line up for ages. But we're here now. All right.
So press the queue, get yourself checked in.
Okay. That was easy. I got the key. Apparently Michael's already here. So let's do a quick room tour because it's quite small. Here we are. We've got a little bit of a living room situation with a little sofa and a telly and a window. And then you come through here and we've got twin bed, and they include some sort of bathrobe, and then they give you this. This is a gift. So you get to keep that. I don't want to grab the bed that Michael wants. This one's fine. And then the bathroom. So shower, the throne, sink, hairdryer. What else do you need? This is the first time I've ever been on a cruise, first time I've ever been on a expedition, and obviously the first time I've ever ventured as far as Antarctica. And I'll explain more about the journey and the trials and tribulations and the adventures that we have to go through to get to Antarctica, because it's not as straightforward as just going on a simple cruise. This is a real adventure. So we're all a little bit excited and nervous mixed together. Our ship is the Ocean Endeavour. She's a rather old ship that was refurbished in 2015. That means that she might not be the most luxurious ship in this region. However, as she's purpose-built for expeditions, this ship can deal with the ice, the Drake Passage, and navigate the tight Antarctica pathways with ease, which means we should be able to go further and see more of the continent than other ships operating in the area. Of course, I'd never been on a ship like this and I was super excited, and so looking around, it was a little bit confusing. However, it wasn't that long until I started to discover a few of the best areas on board. There's a bit of a map here. Oh my God, there's a gym, there's a salon, there's a club, there's a restaurant, there's another lounge, there's another lounge, there's a sun deck, there's a sauna. There was the gym, the spa and massage room, and of course the upper deck areas, which boasted incredible views. Below deck and throughout the ship, it was a bit of a maze, to be honest, and I could tell that it would take me a while to not only learn my way around, cup of tea, but to also learn the new terms and phrases that this type of expedition would entail. There's a mud room. Is that like where we rub mud and get like a mud spa or something? So this is the mud room. It's, I think it's like a place you come to get changed. You can see these are the boots that they give us. Yeah, this must be where we come to. Here he is.
Is it hard to make it on?
No, it's just I'm already lost.
Okay.
Have you found your way around?
Yes.
Good to see you. This is Michael, everybody.
We're near. This is the mud room.
I know. I thought it was like a mud spa or something, but there's a welcome drink somewhere. I'm quite sure where. It's massive. This ship. It's massive.
Hello.
Hello.
We made it. Did you get a welcome drink? Yeah.
No, yeah, no, we were.
Right, okay.
We didn't even know there were welcome drinks until we met somebody.
And I saw some blue champagne or something.
Yeah.
Okay, we found the bar. Little juice or a glass of champagne or something. This is like a little bar or a pub or something. I've never been on a cruise. You can probably tell because I'm wide-eyed and amazed by everything.
Cheers, everybody! We're going to Antarctica.
After meeting Michael, it was time to head up to our first mandatory meeting, where we would learn a lot of the basics about the ship, the crew, and the health and safety measures on board. And then it was time to head back to our rooms because we had to wrap up warm and get ready for the impending fire alarm test, something all passengers and crew must go through before we're allowed to disembark. We had our briefing, very fun. They went through all of the safety stuff and they showed us the weather report. Oh my God, we're gonna be hitting some heavy seas tonight. So a few people are a little bit worried.
Paddy wanted to know if 4-foot seas was bad.
Yeah, and Michael says it's bad.
And did you catch the doctor what his specialty was?
No. Oh, he's a gynecologist. Yeah. This fits fine. What do you think? Looks good. Oh, I like these little thumb things. And we get to keep these. These are like $100 or something.
$250.
Sweet.
You know, I like how they left the price tag on the inside of the tag.
Maybe you should get a size bigger at the. Maybe.
No, because then the other jacket's going to go on top of this.
Yeah. Cool. A quick message from today's sponsor, HelloFresh. If you haven't heard of HelloFresh, they are a meal kit service that sends you fresh ingredients and easy to follow instructions for you to cook amazing meals in the comfort of your own home. Let's say, for example, you don't have much time to constantly be going to the supermarket or finding new recipes. HelloFresh take care of everything. They send you the ingredients and the instructions and you can cook the meals perfectly well at home. HelloFresh have a fantastic deal for you guys, my subscribers, but you have to be from North America, Australia, New Zealand, or from Europe. They don't ship to Asia and to Thailand where I live currently, but hopefully in the future they will. Head to HelloFresh's beautiful website. You can click the link in the description. It'll take you straight to the right place. And then pick the meals that you want and they will send everything pre-portioned and prepped. So there's no more wondering what are we gonna have for dinner this week. Everything will be prepped, ready. All you have to do is put it in the pan and follow the instructions. They have lots of options that are low calorie, protein packed, quick and easy, and of course they have loads of vegetarian options as well. Plus, if your plans change, you can adjust your delivery to fit your week. They've got everything worked out just for you. And if you click the link in the description, you will get a free bonus. Get ready for this one. Free breakfast for life. Every order that you make on HelloFresh, they will include a breakfast item for as long as you are subscribed. So you can start your day with something delicious without a second thought. You can also scan this QR code. It will take you to the same place where you can get the deal that will give you free breakfast for life and the best deals on HelloFresh.com. Thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. Click the link in the description or scan this QR code and enjoy. Okay, that's it. We've cast the ropes. You can tell I'm not a sailor. And we've just had a quick mad dash on Michael's Wi-Fi, his data plan at the SIM card thing, to send my mum, my girlfriend and everyone a message to say that we're gonna go dark because the Wi-Fi prices are ridiculous. And it'll be a nice time to just disconnect and really immerse ourselves in the experience on the boat. I've got an audio book and a couple of movies on my MacBook, and yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine, and it'll be nice to just get away from everything, physically and mentally. So we're leaving. All we had now was 2 days of open ocean across the Drake Passage, leaving Argentina and making our way to Antarctica. How you feeling?
Super excited.
So far, so good.
Okay, good.
Hello.
Yeah, flying just over the water.
We've just seen our first albatross. Oh, there he is. Right, so we have left. We're on our way to the Drake Passage. We've introduced ourselves to most of the names of the groups, of the people, and we're settling into life on this massive ship. We're a little bit worried about the weather report because according to the briefing at midnight, we're going to be in crazy winds and big storm, and everyone's a little bit nervous about that. But you know, if these guys, the staff, do it every 10 days and there and back for the whole winter, I'm sure it can't be that bad. But maybe I'm just I don't know, I'm trying to stay positive. Okay, so a little bit of drama. Unfortunately, something bad's happened. We had dinner and we were all having a good time, just chatting away, nice buffet, and there was an announcement because we had noticed we had stopped and we had turned and then we had just been not moving for a while, and there was an announcement that someone on the ship has gotten very, very ill, so much so that they have to turn back and get them to hospital, which is like, during the briefing they mentioned, like, the doctor came online on the microphone and told us, you know, please be careful, please make sure you take care of yourself, because once we get to Antarctica there is no hospitals, we can't turn around and come back, there's no helicopter rescue, like, we're on this boat, and someone got very sick and we've had to stop and they need to do an emergency, so we've got to go all the way back. We've got about 2 hours and then we've turned around, we're going to go back, so it's just a slight delay. And no one is upset, no one's angry. We've got 10 days on this ship, an extra 2, 3, 4 hours, who cares? If that person can get some medical help and hopefully make through whatever they're going through, that's the main thing. So we've just been having a quiet couple of drinks upstairs. I'm not really in the mood to drink alcohol. I'm absolutely knackered. So I am going to unpack, unwind, have a quick shower and get into bed early, and hope that I sleep all through the night and the storm and the bad weather that's out there in the open ocean doesn't cause too much seasickness or something. Anyway, I've been rambling, I'm tired, so I'm gonna call it day one here. The next morning, we woke up to some good and to some bad news. The bad news was that during the night, the passenger who fell ill had been taken off board and was en route to the nearest hospital back on the mainland. Thank goodness that they did get sick so early into the trip, and we were only 2 hours away from Ushuaia. God forbid they had gotten really seriously ill a day or two later, because things would have been much more complicated. The good news was that the delay had meant by the time the passenger was taken off board and we had restarted our expedition, we had missed the worst of the stormy weather that was forecast, and so we had much calmer seas than was previously forecasted. So, for the next 2.5 days, this was our life. Simply sailing across the vast, deep blue ocean of the Drake Passage with only a few things to keep us entertained. Rise and shine, gorgeous.
What's that?
This is my other camera. This is cool, right? So Chuck is the remote. So the TV channels on the boat, they have like movies, they have documentaries about penguins and, you know, David Attenborough stuff, but they have this channel that shows you where we are, so we can actually like GPS see where we are and how far we've got to go. And when we get to Antarctica, we'll be able to see like where exactly we are in comparison to the rest of the islands and the actual ice shelf itself.
Oh love, where are we? Are we halfway to Bristol?
I'm gonna nip upstairs and have breakfast. Do you want to come, or are you gonna just chill?
Bah humbug.
Okay. Alright. I'll show you what breakfast is like.
Of all the food on board, breakfast was by far my favourite. They had international options, cereals, cooked breakfasts, and being British, they even had baked beans.
Okay, so breakfast was really good. Baked beans, sausages, bacon, omelette. Happy days. What I really like, actually, about this ship and this expedition is it's just packed full of wildlife. And you might think it just looks like the open ocean, but I can see albatross, loads of different types of birds, but there's also lots of chances to see whales. Someone on our trip this morning, when he went out the front at 7 o'clock, took pictures of a whale, and you can like identify which species you saw. And all around the ship they've got maps and information, and there's a library where you can get, you know, read books about famous expeditions. It's just going to be a really educational adventure. So that's a really good thing, and I can't wait to hopefully maybe see a humpback whale or a pilot whale or whatever we're going to find. They have orcas down here, so that would be very, very special. But not gonna pray for something like that. Just enjoy the journey.
To be fair, the crew tried hard to keep us interested. They put on 3 or 4 lectures on each day to teach us about the bird life in this area, the whales, and all of the other species that call this section of the ocean their home, and they kept us informed about the weather changes every single evening. There wasn't really any entertainment put on, so the passengers and we just started to mingle, started to make some friends, and enjoy evenings and dinners at the buffet and the bars just to pass the time. One thing that was really cool, however, and something quite unique, was that the captain of the ship allows passengers inside the bridge to watch them steer and navigate the ocean.
As we enter the Drake Shake, and the weather has become a little bit more difficult. Getting my sea legs. We've come up to the bridge because what's very unique about our ship is at certain times of the day, when the crew aren't overworked, they put a sign up and it's available for us to come in and share the bridge and see how they work.
Open bridge.
Open bridge.
Unlike a lot of ships after COVID, they started doing open bridge.
And it's really interesting because at one end they've got all of the high-tech stuff, but on this side they've got a lot more of the retro analog systems, because they need everything. They need satellite, GPS, and then if that breaks they need to be able to rely on more electrical simple systems, and if that breaks then it's down to the compass and the spotter. Do you know anything about the spotter? There's a man just staring out at the front. He's not taking his eye off the sea at all.
I need to ask. Seems like it's a real serious job.
It looks very serious. And you've got all the coffee and tea and the switches and screens and all sorts of things. But yeah, it's a good spot to use the binoculars for free. Just get a nice close-up of the albatrosses, and maybe we'll see a whale. So this is a real cool, very unique thing that you can do. Come on the bridge.
So, not much really happened for the next 2 days. We kept ourselves busy, we kept ourselves learning about this region, and we tried our best to keep our food down as we hit some rougher seas from time to time. And so, after 2.5 days sailing the Drake Passage, and sadly losing a passenger earlier on at the beginning, and enduring some quite rough seas along the way, we had finally made it to Antarctica.
Morning.
Good morning, gorgeous.
So, we got an announcement when we woke up at 6 o'clock this morning that we've arrived.
We're not in the Sea of Cortez, that's for sure.
Yeah, we had a little cheeky sneak peek out the window and it looks absolutely ridiculous. So we're super excited to get a proper look. Stairs. This way.
From here, I've been able to quickly navigate.
I didn't even know there was a lift.
No one's on the lift. I mean, it's been really quick.
We're finally here. 2 days of the Drake. 2 days of lectures, safety briefings. We're gonna call it the Drake Faff, but we're here.
That's where Karl Watson lives.
Carl got upgraded because he's a famous YouTuber. It's not even that cold. Well, this has exceeded expectations.
I suddenly have a craving for a blended margarita.
It's 6 o'clock in the morning and the morning mist is just catching the top of the peaks. So we don't have any blue skies. It's actually grey skies. It's actually miserable, the weather, but it's just the glaciers, the seabirds, the ice. I've never seen anything like this in my entire life. This is the first time I've been speechless. Like, they prepared us for this moment. I can't actually get my head around that. Oh my God. How long have you been awake? Hey.
About 20 minutes?
20 minutes, wow.
What do you think, buddy? Words are hard right now, aren't they? Yeah.
Looks like the penguins are coming back this way. It's taken over 6 months of planning and preparing
and anticipation and a week of traveling South America and 39 hours of flying to get to this area of the world in the first place. And of course, as you've seen in this video, 2 days of eventful sailing to reach Antarctica. And as I look across, and another huge glacier is revealed, the true scale of this place, the true beauty of this place is undescribable. I will try my best to gather my thoughts and share with you this continent, because I'm a little bit emotional and I don't really know how to put words together. And I just want to take a moment with Michael and the group and just find little sections of the boat to myself and soak this in. And I can see someone's in tears. This is a very, very powerful moment. Mudroom is busy. This is my little situation. Let me put you down and I'll try on. We don't get to keep this one, unfortunately, but we do get to keep this after the trip. Let's see if mine fits. These are the boots. I'm ready to put my beanie on and go outside and see how it all feels.
4, 5, 6, 7.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Trip here. There you go.
Here we are, nice and snug on the Zodiac.
We'll just practice here, and then to your right. Okay.
How you feeling, mate?
Good. I feel good.
These are the Zodiacs, which is a fancy word for a dinghy, really, except these are much more durable and can really deal with cruising through the slush and the ice, which will enable us to hopefully find perfect landing spots so we can all touch down and explore the continent on foot. They have about 12 different Zodiacs, and they try their best to mix the groups and the drivers so that everyone can have a different experience each time we go on a Zodiac cruise. The guys in the red jackets, these are the drivers, and they're incredible. They come from all over the world and are extremely experienced and knowledgeable when it comes to the continent. Apart from keeping us safe, their main job is to get us as close as possible to the wildlife without causing any stress or harm.
Penguins to our left. Oh, we can hear them now.
It was incredible to be cruising through the slush, the ice, and just admiring the incredible scenes all around us. But it wasn't long until he got a call saying that they had found a perfect landing site, so we made our way, getting ready to step foot on solid ground.
Welcome to Antarctica! How are you doing?
Good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You are now standing on continental Antarctica. Yay! Amazing. So super cool to be here at Nico Harbour. Behind us, that glacier is very active. Can sometimes be a big crack, a big calving, and there can be a big wave over here. That's why we ask you not to linger on the shoreline. In terms of things to do, so there's 2 flagged paths. One right now, this penguin is blocking. You can see there we've got some very respectful humans letting the penguin do its thing, and you can kind of hang out and watch all the amazing penguin behaviour. Okay, so we have about 905-ish breeding pairs of gentoos here, so it's a really, really great time to be watching all the behaviour of the penguins. Other things you can do is you can head up in that direction. For always following the flagged paths, please don't go off the route. And in that direction, you can actually gain a bit of elevation. There's some switchbacks, and you can get up to a viewpoint looking over the whole bay, and there's more penguins up that way. If you want to do that one, I would recommend doing it first, because I would ask you to be back here at 11:30. Okay, so 11:30 for back here, and then we'll pop you back to the ship, okay?
One of the penguins just came down the hill and I just got to give him the right of way. What a magical moment. He's posing for a picture. Do you want to take a picture? Okay, here we are, on foot, on the land of Antarctica, right next to a big colony of Gen 2 penguins who smell like fresh fish. And half of them are having a nap, probably had a big breakfast, and then the rest are awkwardly scattering across the ice. As you heard, the lady gave us two options. We can walk along the coastline, or we can go up the hill, which is definitely what I want to do. Woo! Something absolutely unbelievable just happened. So we're doing the little hike up to the viewpoint, past all the penguins, as you can see. And then there was this really loud screeching sound. And we turned around, and down in the bay next to the Zodiacs, with the people who are already on their way back to the boat, there's a humpback whale. Just swimming right next to them. It's coming up again, taking a breath, right next to the boat, right next to the Zodiacs. This is the first hour of the expedition on land, and that's already happened. And the kayakers can probably hear the whale, so they're probably desperate to get an encounter. That would be magical, absolutely magical. I made it to the top, the viewpoint, overlooking a colony of penguins, the bay, the ship, the Zodiacs, the other tourists, the guides, and somewhere in there now, a humpback whale who's down feeding, taking a big breath. The gentleman who steers our Zodiac told us, his name's Brent, he said that they lay their nests up here because when all of this melts in the next few months, at the height of summer, this will be the first part that's exposed to the rocks, because this species of penguin have to lay their eggs on the rocks. They don't lay them on their feet like the emperors. I just hope to God that it's coming across on film how beautiful this is. I've traveled around the world, 6 continents now, and I've never seen anything like this in my entire life.
What's up, man? Is this beautiful?
Yeah. I was just saying that it's like the nearest thing for us to be an astronaut. This is the nearest thing to getting in a rocket and going to an alien planet, because we've just never seen anything like this, have we?
Yeah, it's very interstellar.
Yeah.
It really is. It's beautiful.
Yeah, really beautiful is certainly an understatement. To be surrounded by all of this beautiful ice and active glaciers, penguin colonies, views of this incredible harbour, and humpback whales swimming around us, it was really hard to convey the emotions of standing on this viewpoint on mainland Antarctica. I took plenty of time off camera to soak it up and to breathe in this experience before it was time to head back aboard, refuel, and relocate to a new area. We have an itinerary today that included 2 separate trips on the Zodiacs, and it's fair to say that Antarctica had completely blown us away, and we couldn't wait to see what else it had in store for us next.
Best day ever.
And we're only halfway through.
On an expedition like this, you rarely spend any time in your cabin. The sun never sets, and the views are just incredible. Plus, with the open bridge policy, it's just too much fun to watch the captain and the crew navigate the ice. We also saw this luxury cruise ship passing by, and we learned that tickets on board this vessel can reach up to $40,000. But there was something interesting that our crew found out from theirs via the radios. It seems like we were having much more luck with the conditions and the wildlife than they were having. What's interesting is our crew are communicating with that other ship, the posh ship. They've been at sea for 4 days and they have not had the chance. They've not had the conditions or the weather to land. So everybody on the posh cruise, they haven't been able to go onto the continent yet and explore on foot. So it shows you how lucky and incredible the conditions were this morning. One of the other reasons we changed location was to find a place to go camping. Yes, that's right. Camping on the ice overnight is an optional extra activity, and around 40 other passengers opted for the camping, including me, and we couldn't wait to try it. I mean, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, right? However, when we arrived at the campsite, the conditions were just not fit for camping, sadly. The once solid ice island that they use as the campsite had broken up due to the warmer weather this time of year, and as much as the crew had tried, they just couldn't find an alternative location for the camping activity.
We will work hard in order to fill the gaps and to give you the best experience that we can with the conditions that we have.
It was a big blow for me and Michael. We were gutted, and so was everybody else who'd signed up. However, the crew decided that the conditions were just fine enough to do another optional activity, this time the famous polar plunge. There's an activity on this tour called the polar plunge, and we were never told when it was going to happen, but we all knew that it was a potential. They give you the option to jump in your swimming costume into the actual -1 degree Celsius water. If you've wanted to watch me jump into freezing cold water, this is not the video, and I'm sorry. But here's the thing, that's my worst nightmare. We're watching the guys jumping in, and do we have FOMO, guys?
No.
No,
No
we do
FOMO.
not have FOMO.
I don't care at all.
Here goes Karl Watson, the man, the myth, the legend.
Karl Watson!
Karl Watson! Woo! I stand by my decision to not jump in. Freezing water might be a great way to release endorphins and boost your immune system, and the footage would have looked great for the video. But for me, I'll just stick to the hot showers and spicy food as my adrenaline rush. Thank you very much. Congratulations!
Feeling better now.
Late that evening, the crew put on a new activity to make up for the lack of the camping, and they put on an optional Zodiac cruise at sunset. Of course, when you're this far south and at this time of year, the sun never actually sets below the horizon. So this would just be the nearest thing to a sunset cruise. And I mean, I just couldn't miss out on this opportunity. So I obviously jumped at the chance. It was at no extra cost. And why not? Good evening, ship. Now that everyone's left, I'd just like to let you know that tonight's karaoke night.
Yeah, exactly.
Jump back in, swim back.
The cruise was only an hour long, but it was just absolutely glorious. We just cruised around this beautiful harbour and marvelled at the incredible landscapes. We saw 2 species of seal, including a leopard seal, which was taking a rest after feeding on some nearby penguins. A bit too gruesome to show that on YouTube. Around the corner, we also saw this scientific facility, not used at this time of year, and so the penguins had come in and claimed it for themselves. And overall, this cruise concluded a truly unforgettable first 24 hours here in Antarctica. Good morning. Welcome to another day aboard the incredible cruise to Antarctica. This is our second day, our second full day of exploration during this expedition, and look at the weather. Look at the conditions. 0 wind, blue skies, incredible glaciers, mountains, and a beautiful bay for us to use as a base today. This is absolutely the definition of paradise. Good news, bad news. Good news is it's still beautiful outside. Bad news, they couldn't find a landing spot, so we can't step foot on the land on this particular expedition, on this outing. They just couldn't find a safe spot for us to get onto the land, which is obviously going to happen quite often with all of this ice.
Yeah? Oh, sorry. Is this Carl?
No, this is Paddy.
Oh, that's Paddy.
Just another.
Time to go. Look at this. Look at that. Lovely day, eh? Bloody hell.
Everyone fail. Okay, thank you. Right, I'm Carlos, the guy with the blue hair from Ushuaia. Alana's gonna be our buddy, and we're gonna go to Doyle and see what's in the ice. We can try.
There's big groups of penguins coming in together from being out at sea, and I love the way they just swim and then they land and then they climb up the rock face and find their friends. Some of them are going out to feed, some of them are coming back in the water. It looks like crystal clear. Oh, there's a jellyfish right here. Look at this.
just as we were admiring the penguins, a huge leopard seal's head just came out of the water.
That here is a leopard.
Here we go.
There's a beautiful little seal just lying on the snow, having a little sunbathe, and all the penguins having a little swim. And we're just watching some of the penguins trying to get up and jump onto the beach. But there's a lot of snow and ice, which is the reason why we couldn't land, because we can't find a safe spot to land, and the penguins are struggling to find an easy spot to get back onto the land so they can lie down and chill. Could conditions be any better than this, eh?
No.
Hello.
That was incredible. Absolutely perfect. I think that perfect really was the correct term for this morning. And once we were all on board, we did move location on the hunt for yet another beautiful spot to explore. In the afternoon, after our lunch, we pulled up to this gorgeous spot and we had another beautiful Zodiac cruise. The weather held up and we saw even more wildlife than last time, but this time we saw a few species that we had yet to see on this trip. The kayakers pushed on through the slush and the ice, and everyone involved and everyone around was just soaked up in this experience to the fullest. Even our guides told us that weather like this is very rare, and so I think we all kind of understood that. And that's why I didn't film that much in the afternoon. I kind of just sat on the Zodiac and just, took it all in.
Traffic jam.
Later that evening, since the weather was still quite calm, they actually put on a barbecue on the deck. So we all came up together and celebrated a perfect day aboard the ship and a perfect day here in Antarctica.
If it looks freezing cold, it's because it's freezing cold. Okay, so let's pick things up on this absolutely gorgeous morning here in Antarctica. These foggy conditions really blew us away and they really brought out the magical atmosphere. Our guide today was British and he was really keen to show us some incredible ice structures nearby that had floated in, as well as going on a hunt for some wildlife. So this was going to be a lovely, beautiful morning cruise.
That's a beautiful piece of ice, isn't it?
Miles an hour. I think they can do 200 miles a day if they.
There's a whale. We're right next to a big humpback whale. There's a baby humpback whale circling our boat. It's incredible. He's come past us like 3 times. Oh, he's coming right in. There he is. Oh my god.
This is crazy.
After that beautiful morning of cruising around the gorgeous ice and meeting the larger-than-life wildlife locals, the crew had a few more surprises in store for us.
Hot chocolate time.
Thank you.
No problem.
Hot chocolate served by a penguin in Antarctica.
Phew.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers, everyone. Cheers. We will. Can you let go of the ropes right now? Sorry. I'll move up. I didn't.
Oh, that's amazing.
We made our way back to the ship, and the snowy, cozy atmosphere lent itself nicely towards a nice lunch and a great nap. But later that afternoon, it was time to head back out on the Zodiacs for another landing, this time on the mainland proper, and we were going to be hiking up a nearby mountain. There's a little hike. We go around, enjoy the bay, and hike up to the top of that hill. What are the chances of this? Literally where we've just landed. Look. Got off the boat there, and look behind me. It's like they came here and popped it down here. There's a seal having a sleep right next to the landing spot. He's fast asleep, bless him. He had too many beers last night, I think.
Is he breathing? I don't know if he's alive.
Yeah, he's breathing. Look, take your sunglasses off and watch the fur on the chest.
Oh, I see.
You see it? Don't scare me. This is where we landed. That's where we're headed. And there's a beautiful seal having a nap. Oh, this is nice. Stretch your legs. Obviously there is a little gym on the boat, but it's not the same. If you do get the chance, I know this kind of trip is a bit of a once in a lifetime aspiration for a lot of people, including me. But if you do get the chance, jump at it. Look who it is. First time on this trip, I've seen Michael outside of the room.
Right.
Well, and the ship.
The bar. The bar doesn't count. What do you think?
I mean,
Does it look like home?
no.
I see Mark Wiens' restaurant right there.
I could do with a pack of pow, but no, this is something else, isn't it?
Yeah, we're doing a good job remembering not to record. Sometimes you just stand there and just watch.
Yeah, I know. So I take a couple of pictures and then I'm like, put it down, put it away, just relax, enjoy yourself.
You have to remember to do that.
How fortunate that seal was just having a nap right at the
I think
landing spot.
I think it's actually a CPR dummy. I don't think it's a real seal. I think they just do mouth to mouth on it.
All right, I'll see you at the top.
Okay.
Ciao. Don't fall, Lucy.
Okay, we made it to the little viewpoint up the hill, looking down onto the rocks, and I think there'll be a little spot for a nice photo. You can see behind me the bay, isn't it gorgeous?
Boom. Wow.
Yep.
Well done. Alien planet.
Ready.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
So, another fun-filled day here in Antarctica was complete, but that meant we only had one full day remaining before our 2-day trip back to Argentina. And when we woke up the following morning, we were met with a really terrible blizzard. High winds, freezing temperatures, and we weren't sure if this was going to put an early end to our time here. But surprisingly, we did get called for a morning Zodiac cruise. Apparently they'd found a suitable landing spot. We were all very surprised and a little bit worried. So we braced ourselves, geared up, and got out there in the wildest conditions to date. We made it.
Welcome to Deception Island and Whalers Bay. So here you can do a walk along the beach all the way to the Neptune's window that you can see there. The furthest you can walk is to the hangar, which is the biggest height there in the end. And so make sure you just stay within the kind of guidelines in here.
Straight after the landing, there's some penguins. How cute are they? Oh my god, the wind. Wow. Okay, let's go explore. So, as you can see, the conditions were brutal. The freezing temperatures and the freezing cold wind made conditions and exploring very difficult. I have to turn around and let the wind hit my back because if it hits my face, I can't feel anything. This is cold. And vlogging, even with a good microphone in this wind, was practically impossible. Ah! So cold! Oh, God. But we braved it, and I actually lasted about an hour walking around thanks to all of the professional gear and clothing that they provide and that I had brought along on the expedition. And so I was actually able to explore loads here in Deception Island. This island is actually located in the South Shetland Islands of Antarctica, so a little bit further out from the mainland peninsula. It used to be a bustling centre for the Antarctica whaling operations during the early 20th century, and you can see the old whaling stations, including these massive rusting tanks, boilers, and all the other equipment that they used. In the height of the whaling days, we were told that they didn't even need to go on the boats to hunt for the whales. They would come into this bay and they were able to harpoon them from the black sandy beaches themselves. Back then there were just so many whales in this area that the whaling industry was booming, and this was the hot spot. Of course, today this area is protected under the Antarctica Treaty System, which regulates a lot of the human activity, including our tour, and we were given strict guidelines of where we could go, what we could interact with, and so obviously we had to keep that in mind whilst we tried our best not to get blown into the wind or lost within the blizzard. So all in all, it was a really fun exploration, a real Antarctica experience, and it was nice to get this different weather. We'd been spoilt so far, and so I think it's only right that we got to experience the brutal side of this environment. Group photo. Hey! Now that we've come to the South Shetland Islands, conditions have really changed. Conditions have gotten a lot worse. It's a lot windier. 35 knot wind. The entire ship has frozen. The back is now, you just can't even explore at the back of the ship because it's covered in ice. Come to the front in similar conditions, and I nearly just stacked it and nearly embarrassed myself in front of everyone. We're at this Horseshoe Island, which was the plan for today or this afternoon, was to get off and go explore, but with the conditions and the weather, it's just not possible for us to get out onto the Zodiacs. So we're doing a little bit of a cruise where we're just kind of going around these islands and getting incredible views of the drama, this storm up against these glacial walls. This is Antarctica. Conditions are going to change. We've had it so lucky this entire trip. We've literally had the perfect weather. So to get 1 or 2 days, maybe on the way back as well, a little bit of a Drake shake, that's the price you pay for 2 or 3 days of perfect weather in a row. We really have been blessed, so there's nothing to complain about. We're all in good spirits. This has been, without doubt, the pinnacle of my traveling experience so far. It's impossible to sum up in words, because it really was almost impossible for me to do it justice. Antarctica, put it on your bucket list. Yeah, hard to sum it all up, especially in the freezing wind and nursing a cold as I was there on the top deck. Before we finish, there was one last surprise in store, as Michael was invited to steer the ship and learn about how it all works on the bridge as part of a prize that he had won on board. On the way back, the crew put on a fundraiser, and one of the rewards was the experience of driving the ship, and since Michael was the highest bidder for that particular prize, he got to live out his childhood dream, and it put the perfect end to what was by far the perfect trip. Michael is literally the captain of the ship.
I'm not the captain. What am I?
You're the captain. You are the captain.
I'm an Uber. Where do you want to go?
I want to thank Michael for inviting me and for making this whole thing possible. It really was a complete dream, and I will take these memories to the grave.
Should I take my shirt off? I did not break the ship.
Not much. Yeah, Antarctica.
Our next adventure is going to be going to the International Space Station.
I never expected Antarctica to be that beautiful and this memorable, so thank you, Michael, for allowing me to experience it and to share it with the world. Thanks to Karl Watson for letting us crash your group tour, and thanks to all the amazing people that I met during the expedition. And finally, thank you for watching this series. It was my pleasure to share it all with you. Next up, we're heading to Patagonia for some more adventures, and then the channel is coming back to Thailand. Lots to look forward to, lots to get excited about, and loads of reasons to subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you soon.